Good evening.
All right.
Sure.
First time I get to come up here with something great. First, I'm gonna break it down into three parts. I would like to extend the Meet the Candidates Day from 10 to noon, add an hour to it from 12 to 1 for Adam Randall, DMV, to come down from Fountain to meet everyone. Also, I spoke with the county commissioners today, encourage them to come also. Can we do that?
This is the doctor you were talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
DNP, he has a PhD, he's a nurse practitioner, but he does have a doctorate degree in family medicine. So DNP versus doctor. He can be called a doctor, but he actually just likes Adam. So, yes, we can do that. I'll have no objection.
Yeah, I've had the conversation with you before. I have no objection.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting the candidate forum followed by an opportunity to meet him,
For 1 hour.
which is different. Okay.
That allows everyone that wants to be involved, everyone on this council, anyone who came for the meeting. He gets a chance to shake hands with a few folks, gives him a reason to come down here, not one at a time. We're all here. We can all focus on it.
You're not looking for a moderator for that point.
Oh, absolutely not. No,
Okay.
everyone is free. All I need is the building for an hour, hopefully without charge. I will gladly clean up and take care of whatever I need to do. We can, that's pretty easy.
You just need to have
We're already
somebody
open.
on site that can lock up and set the alarm.
Absolutely.
Who would that be? Would you be present for that meeting? Can you lock up the building and set the alarm after the
What day is that?
the same day as the Meet the Candidates? It's
Oh,
ninth.
yeah. We're gonna open up here for
from
to meet
10
the
to
candidates
12
anyway.
We're just extending it 1 hour. is all
Yeah.
I'm asking.
So
And
this
that
is
gives you a
second-
chance, everyone a chance to actually ask your questions.
It's a second event after the Meet the Candidates. Another second
Yeah.
event right
That'd
on
be
the
on the
tail end of
9th.
that for an
Yeah.
hour.
On the 9th,
From
okay.
1 till 2.
Yeah, I know.
12 to 1.
I can do it, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, with that, I've been talking to Adam Family Healthcare about bringing or Randall Family Healthcare about bringing a clinic out here, a satellite clinic. He has interest in the building next door. I've explained all of this to you already, but just for everyone else. The idea is to bring in a family service clinic that can also handle opioids treatment. Adam has a specialty in addiction medicine. He has a PhD again in family medicine. So between the two of them, he could do a lot of good out here. We would like to rent the building next door across the street. I did a full inspection on it this week, the roof, the heater, everything. I'm completely aware of what's wrong and what it would take to fix it. We will be handling, or when I say we, I'm simply a representative. I have no financial stake in this. I'm just speaking on Adam's behalf. He will completely revamp the building or we'll clean up the inside of the building. We'll add an exam room. We'll have to make adjustments to the current bathroom situation. The hallway on its way through it is not ADA compliant and is probably more work to make than is realistic. So we would like to go through the kitchen area, revamp the 2 bathrooms to 1 bathroom to make it large enough to be ADA compliant, wheelchair accessible. We'll add in a 36-inch door and that eliminates that whole hallway issue. We will still maintain that hallway for public use of that bathroom, but this is how we get around the ADA.
The wheelchair access to go through the kitchen area.
Yes.
Okay,
Not everyone will go through that way, but
correct. Those who need to.
it's one of the ways we make sure we check all of the dots and T's.
Sure.
Other than that, it's a pretty simple setup. It'd be basic. We would like the town to give it to us on a provisionary lease for 2 years, at $1 a year. The same as was given to
That's ready.
Helping hands
That's
or whatever.
correct.
Yeah.
in doing so, we relieve the city from all the expenses of utilities. I believe that's around $2,400 a month is the estimate I was given. So that right there frees up $2,400 for the city to do something better with.
Per month,
A year, you mean?
per month,
year.
per year,
You
per
said
month,
you said per month. I think you meant per year.
Excuse me, I meant
per year.
$2,400 per year.
Okay.
Per year.
About $200 a month is what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can cover that for 2 years, that's again, that much longer. We will also cover that roof. I was up there yesterday. It's a simple fix. Same for the heater. Any other provisions you might request, we can negotiate. I think we have something workable here. He's ready to get going. He'll be out here March 9th. One other request is that I ask the city to waive any permit fees for construction on the inside of the building. We'll already be investing in the building, paid to invest in the building. I'm looking for any cuts I can find. And then last would be, everyone here knows about the opioids fund. We have greatly researched it this week. There's a lot of stipulations and clauses. We think we can meet all of them. We had intended on meeting the March 15th deadline, then we withdrew that idea. Today, after a meeting with the council or the county commissioners, if one of you is willing to help me on this before the next election cycle, before the March 15th, the city is eligible for $4,000 per year out of this fund. Sugar City is. This is per the county commissioners. This is without any great leaps and bounds to get to. This is simple. Only need one person to work with who will stand up, say, and work with me and represent the city to get this
They
done.
have restrictions and requirements on what that 4,000 can be spent on. I'm assuming it's got to be spent on this project we're talking about with that building, or
Well, it'll probably, we have a wish list of medical items, EKG,
okay, that's in the
defib,
packet.
everything I gave you.
Okay,
That is our wish list. That would relieve some financial strain off of us to get this set up.
sure.
It's about $7,200 worth. If I can get someone to help me with the 4,000 here, then I will put in a request for a grant directly from the county. No guarantees on this, but rather than going to the fund, I will go to the county and ask them for the other $3,200. Absolutely no guarantee until they meet the doctor. This is all just an idea.
Sure. Okay.
But if we're willing to put in the work, we can have half the equipment right up front and get started immediately. And we just see how it goes. Should there be a hangup, you're welcome to add in a provision that allows the city to terminate the lease at 1 year if we haven't met our obligations in the first year. If we have, give us the second year to prove we can do something with it. The end goal is to have a local clinic that helps people. Also, we branch out. Up north, there was an RV program. That's the last part of what my packet.
So
Fortunately, the two commissioners that are down here that are on the opioids council already helped approve that program. It was supposed to, I believe, help 13 counties. We haven't seen it. So our goal is to get another one of those setups down here. Crowley County, if we can't support enough for population with Crowley County, to bring in Pueblo County, bring in Otero, spread this program out, put it to work. So that is my request.
So my understanding of what you were talking about was that this is a process where he would establish a clinic in this building across the street, basically for family practice, but also for like drug addiction recovery, opioid recovery.
Yes. So
Okay, so that would provide an additional medical resource to our residents in the area, as well as addiction treatment and counseling for those people in the community as well. That you're requesting a 1-year lease of the building to you for $1, that you will then pay the roughly $200 a month utility. So that's going to save us $2,400 a year that we're not paying on utilities because you're paying it. You're going to seal the roof. You're not going to replace it, but you're going to seal it so it doesn't leak. You're going to make the changes to the bathroom to make it ADA accessible. And you're going to fix the furnace in the building so that there's heat. And then at the end of the year, at the end of the year,
out of Adam's pocket.
at the end of the year, if you've not met your obligations, we can terminate the lease if things aren't moving forward. And we've saved $24 in utilities and got a furnace and a roof taken care of. But if we're on track at the end of the year, we lease for another year for another $1. And during that year, we're going to save another $2,400 on utilities to bring this clinic up and running to where it can begin servicing the community. And I don't know whether or not there'll be any tax money generated from the services provided in that building. But if there are, that would be a benefit to us as well. But it's a benefit to the community.
No, it
Just,
won't. No, it won't. There's no taxes.
well, I said, I don't know if, but if it did, it would be
Sugar
a
City
benefit.
doesn't currently have tax.
Okay, so it still would bring the benefit of the service to the community.
Right.
And it wouldn't cost us any, it actually would save us close to $5,000 over 2 years. Because we're not paying the utility cost. So currently, I don't see a downside to it.
The complaints might be that there are drugs on the site, which there will not be. I will not keep any narcotics or medics
And
on
we
site.
discussed that as well, because we need that sign posted
That will not be an
that
issue.
there's no drugs kept at this building so that nobody's gonna want to break in and find out.
We agree with your signage.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts or comments on the idea?
Would you be opposed to us advertising
No, there is a potential. There is not a guarantee,
Is it
but
right
there's
now?
a potential. He does not need that much space. He needs a 12 by 12 room. That's all he actually needs, and a bathroom because it's in a building, so he's required to provide a bathroom.
Sure.
Doesn't need all that. There is a potential, and we were working this out, this is not in stone, to turn that into a multi-resource center. Not only will the doctor's office be in there, he'll have his own office, he'll have his own exam room, he'll be left alone, but there's additional space to allow us to use maybe the opioid fund or other grants or resources to help bring people in and help them with community resource. Great example is the LEAP Beat program, the air conditioning, refrigerator program, a whole bunch of other ones that most people don't even know about. I seem to be the only one who knows that the government is paying cell phone bills for anyone who's on Medicaid right now. But everyone I've spoke to that is in these programs, no one's actually getting these benefits because they don't know the program exists.
Because the rest of us taxpayers can't afford to keep paying for it.
That's a whole different argument. But while the money's there, these people should be using it. The people that need it.
Might suggest that after he's refurbished, should he be approved for that? That maybe he works it out and sees if, because he's not gonna be here maybe once, the satellite, once or twice a week.
This would
He's
take 2
not
days
gonna,
a week.
he's not gonna be here the rest of the time. That he could co-share with, it would be nice to have a chiropractor in our county.
Sure.
I think you could get one.
There are those that might be interested.
A lot of things could be worked out. There's plenty of space is available. We're not greedy about it. Yes, he's only going to be here 2 days a week, which is why we would like to do the resourcing. If you can line up a chiropractor, yes.
Yeah,
Anything we can do that brings resources to our community is a bonus.
agreed. I'd like to know if Mr. Buckner has any thoughts or comments on this idea.
Have you sent him a copy of the contract or suggested contract?
I have not brought a suggested contract. I figured we'd work through our city attorney.
Yeah, yes, that's why I'm asking. Have you brought one? Sent one to him? Mr. Buckner received a copy yet of your suggestion?
Yes, I've emailed with him. He sent me some questions about yesterday. I responded to them. Pretty much what I just laid out for you, but a couple specifics.
Okay.
But I have not received a contract. If that's your question, sir. I'm not.
No,
Yeah, so I don't have any real questions or concerns if this is something the board wants to do. You know, the key is that it's for the health, safety, welfare of the entire community, and it's that's the purpose of it. My suggestion is that we make the terms of the lease very specific and make sure we delineate everything that's discussed. So we don't just talk about it and say, okay, let's do the lease. The lease terms itself, it should be in there. And then of course the board should get another chance to kind of look at it and approve that lease by resolution, written resolution to, adopt the lease and adopt the proposal. Because, it's not like answering an RFP. I mean, this has kind of been brought to you with no parameters other than what they're suggesting. And so we just need to make sure we encapsulate that somehow.
Laid out in writing in detail.
absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
That's just good business.
agreed.
I do have one concern,
Yes.
parking. The post office already has issues there.
Yeah,
It might be that part of the back area has to be used for it because it's 2 cars out there and You know, it's crowded.
I don't have a great answer for that one. I have considered it. If we move the parking to the back, that's gonna require a lot of concrete, the ADA. That's gonna get expensive quick. Parking in the front, my thought is we have the two spots, those are left with patients.
Handicap parking out front and regular parking in the back. And it's all ADA compliant.
If that's the way we can work it, absolutely.
But I just think if he does any real business, 3 or 4 cars out there and that's about shut down Main Street. You know, there's no parking there.
Sure.
There's
That's true.
nothing there.
Well,
So
hopefully they can walk
extend down?
across the street and park on this side of the street.
Say, Cass, can they park, just, we own that property for the entire block, correct?
No.
no.
Ehar owns that,
It's your
from
We-
the
we control
post office
the
to the
street,
south, Ehar owns that.
not the lots.
All right.
John Ehar owns that part.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
But-
building
but-
and straight west behind.
Street parking is street parking, like anybody can park on the street.
Yes, but we've had issues with this
The
in the
post office
past.
has had issues with their people
This has been a serious
That sounds like a terrible
issue.
personal problem. Street parking is open to the public.
I think their complaint stems from when the food drive was in there, we would take over that entire area.
No, but that's no longer an issue.
Okay,
It's not.
but
Well,
I believe that's where
But-
you're
blocked
stems.
off.
I understand,
office
but
and stuff.
at the end of the day, street parking is still street parking and it's open to the public because we don't have anything blocked off for like red, yellow. We have a handicap spot, I think is all that we have.
Okay.
So
but
I
saying
understand the
that doesn't
complaint,
Make the problem go away when it happens.
but they're complaining about something that they have no ability to control or
Complain about.
complain about. Like you can complain all day, every day. Doesn't mean that it's gonna be a complaint that's valid.
Sure.
I thought so too, but, your food drive wound up getting moved somewhere else because of it, so.
But it's now a non-problem.
It did become an issue, whether it should have or not, it has already led to one of our valuable resources in town having to go to a great expense to resolve the issue, and I would like to prevent it leading to another one having to, so, just because we think it's not a problem, it will be a problem, it has been a problem in the past.
Do you have any recommendations?
Like I said, just turn the back parking area into a parking lot, put handicap out front. That way your handicap people have access, so it's all sidewalk and everything.
Could that rear parking lot, at least initially, could that be a dirt parking lot?
Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. If it doesn't have to provide ADA access, then
That's my only
it can
concern.
just be dirt, hay parking out back.
That's very,
Yeah,
we can
you
be
know.
flexible about that. These, we're not rigid about anything. We need a 12 by 12 space, honestly. The rest of it is negotiable.
I'd like to address your comment, or suggestion that we waive fees. How did you describe it?
Building
All it said
permit.
Building
was-
permits.
Oh, yes.
Please realize that those fees go directly to Rick, it's my understanding. It's not a matter of, we would expect you to pay any actual cost to Rick or our inspectors, not just, maybe not any additional beyond his cost, but actual cost. There's nothing in our budget to go for actual costs.
I know.
So any actual cost for inspections and stuff would still need to be covered.
Yeah, I'll make sure that he's aware of that. Any other questions?
Any other thoughts?
So
No.
how soon till you'll get a suggestion to Mr. Buckner?
What format would you like this in? How would you like this to look? What I gave you before was just a general premise of what we're doing. Do you have a sample lease we can work with that on to simplify this?
Yeah, have you drafted, is this something that's is kind of a case of first impression for you, or have you done this before and drafted a lease with local government?
I have never drafted a lease with local government. I'm familiar with.
All right, so why don't you, if the board directs me, I will draft a lease and we will obviously prepare a section of town responsibilities and then, lessee responsibilities, and we'll hash out the details in the lease.
Absolutely, sounds simple.
How many weeks till you can have that done, Mr. Buckner?
It shouldn't take me too long. I've done quite a few leases like that are similar. So the real trick isn't the draft, it's getting it back in front of the board to approve the terms of the lease. So we just need to make sure that what I'll work with, what is it? I think we could have it first week in March.
You could have it for the next official meeting.
Certainly, well, let's do that. Certainly by the third Wednesday of March, but let's shoot for, if you direct me to, I mean, I'll do it and make sure it's done for the first meeting in March. But it's going to take a little bit of time and collaboration with staff to make sure I get all those bullet points in there.
Is it going to require
What was your
a
time?
first reading and then approval, or since it's a resolution, it can be done?
No,
in one
it's not right. It's not an ordinance. It'll just be passed by resolution, so it can just go into effect immediately.
What was your,
What was your timeline?
if we can get some things in place by March 15th. Mark, if you're willing to work with me on this 4K and getting in something that the city represents to give him, March 15th is my rush date.
Who do you speak of?
To access the opioids fund, the city council can access this at $4,000 a year. That's what Sugar City was allotted, and then we passed it up to the county. I was told today that the mayor or a trustee can get involved, and we can request this through the
You
city.
just need a request to the county. Who is made the
I'll work
request
on
going
the
to?
specifics of it, but that's my understanding, yes.
I'm happy to be the representative, but I just don't have the time capacity at this time. That's one of the reasons I'm leaving council.
But what exactly do you need the council representative
Here, I
to
thought it was
do?
because you didn't like.
We're gonna put in a
I vote to
request
put you
for
on.
equipment, $4,000 worth, whatever we can squeeze out of that list.
You brought some
And
cabbage and
Have that
St.
first stock
Patrick's
in
Day.
the facility.
Well, I understand the goal of council participation right away is to try to beat this March 15th date and to access this $4,000, the annual that's available to the town in order to try and knock some items off this list.
Correct.
I understand that. What I'm asking is, what exactly does the council representative need to do in order to help make that happen?
I'll have those answers tomorrow. I was given until this afternoon, when I sat down with the county commissioners, we had decided to step back and plan for September 15th. There's a lot of little information to make sure we're covered. And at the same time, it highly recommends a letter from the council. We're not there yet. We don't deserve that letter yet. We have to get something rolling before someone's going to believe us and write it in writing.
If it's just a written request to the county, I'm happy to be the liaison. But we would need to have the proposal or the resolution approved before then.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking at what point we can have this resolution approved as directed per contract with Mr. Buckner. That's why I'm asking which date it can be approved by. Otherwise, it's just a wish list, and it's a waste of everyone's time.
Well, if Mr. Buckner has that paperwork back by the next meeting on the 6th, that still gives us about 9 days to have our paperwork to.
And I have no problem with, if it's just a matter of a written request.
It's a rush. I hate that it's till now. The next one is until September 15th. Otherwise,
No, I'm fine with that, but I
Yeah.
don't know what details.
Oh, do you need the resolution, or do you actually need the lease itself? Because the town can resolve to enter into a lease if that's all you need. Typically, third parties don't need to see the actual contract or lease. They just want to know that the town is made the
Yeah,
decision
they want
to-
to know there's an agreement. So I think we'd need the resolution approved to take forth with the request.
Which sounds like we could do that on the 6th at our next meeting, right?
Sounds like you could do it tonight, honestly.
could we do that tonight?
Could we do that
I
tonight?
don't think so. I think that would need to wait? Because there may be.
Oh, no,
public comment.
because it would
Next time.
violate OML because we didn't put resolution on the thing.
That was my expectation, is
Right.
that it would be at least 2 weeks from now.
So might I suggest that Mr. Buckner can have the resolution ready by the next council meeting?
On the sixth.
And if it's approved at that point, I'd be happy to assist,
Yes, sir.
assuming that it's just a letter of recommendation or an appearance, making that request.
Awesome. Thank you.
Which makes it overall sound very positive at this point.
It's a win-win. There's some downfalls to it. There's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of trouble on this building. With some effort, some work, we bring a decent medical provider out here. We tap into a huge fund that later on, maybe we can bring into the community and do something with. Programs, some assistance for needy families. There's a lot of money there for a lot of different reasons. It's just gonna sit there if we don't use it. It's gonna go to another county. Just fine, but I care about this county.
Yeah.
So. All
Well,
right,
I'm,
then.
I'm glad you brought it up. I think we've got a good outlook on a good possibility. We'll have to
Okay.
see how it plays out, but thank you.
All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Here, get
It's your favorite time.
budget.
2024 budget.
Didn't we have? I think short of approval?
We have to actually approve it in this meeting.
Yes, but we have everything balanced correct at this time, right?
We have all of your happy numbers.
Okay. I've moved to approve
I don't know what.
2024.
I didn't say after the,
I moved to approve the 2024
Except for
budget
loosely.
as it is currently balanced, and it's probably the first one that's been such this soon in many, many years.
That's for sure.
Well, I agreed to join the council to try to get back on this track.
I'll
I
second.
assume there's a second,
I'll second.
but moved
there's
and
not
seconded
one,
by
I'll-
Scarlett.
Move it, you made the motion?
Yep.
Okay, Mark made the motion.